Hi guys, welcome to another series in the interviews for Cross Counter Asia. Today I have a special guest, Brendan Watson, who is a tournament organizer from BAM, which is Battle Arena Melbourne. So nice to have you on our show.
No problem. Thanks for being here. Thanks for having me.
Can you give us a little background on BAM, how it came about?
Yep. Okay, so BAM came from a community group in Melbourne called CATZ. It's a group that we started in 2007 because basically the fighting game scene in Melbourne was pretty much dead at the time.
Hmm.
Like vanilla Street Fighter 4 wasn't out, so it was still Third Strike and a little bit of CBS2 and stuff like that. But pretty much no one was really playing much. We still had some pretty beaten up arcades that people would go to occasionally, but there wasn't really any kind of scene. So we just gotten into playing a little bit, more seriously. So we thought, oh, we'll start to put together a series of events. So we always kind of had this plan to lead up towards a big major. We wanted to do a big event, but we didn't think that we'd be able to do it straight away, obviously, because there wasn't really much of a scene at the time. So over a few years, we started up doing some Randbats, and then a couple of years ago, we were able to do the first BAM, and it's kind of built up from there to what it is now.
Awesome. I noticed that at BAM this year there were playable
Mm.
trials of all the new games coming out later on this year and next year, such as Street Fighter X Tekken and Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom, and also Soul Calibur 5.
Yep.
How were you able to acquire um, these games? Because I know that even a tournament as big as say Seasons Beatings in Ohio, which is going down this weekend, so Canada Cup, which is coming up in next month. Not even these tournaments are able to acquire trial versions of the game. So how were you able to acquire those copies? Did you have to go through Capcom or did you go through a distributor? Please let us know how you did it.
Sure. Well, we were really lucky with that. Like, I was surprised that we ended up getting all the stuff that we did in the end. But the way that we went about it was, we have a contact with THQ Asia Pacific, which is the distributor in Australia for Capcom games, and we'd gotten in contact with them in the last couple of years, just doing like little things for them. So we did like a launch event for Tatsunoko versus Capcom for Wii when it came out and also for Vanilla Marvel when that came out, and bits and pieces like that over the years. So we had a contact that I could get in contact with, and while they sometimes can't do stuff for us, like last year we were actually trying to get Marvel as well, and that would have been a couple months before release, but. The indications originally with that was that it was going to work out, but it kind of fell through at the last minute. So I contacted them this year with the intention of kind of leading off with that, like, hey, would it be possible to get Street Fighter X Tekken and Ultimate Marvel? And I was expecting them to pretty much say, oh, we'll see what we can do, but wasn't really getting anything out of it. But straight away they were like, yeah, yeah, we'll do it. I was still a little bit wary at that point because obviously we'd had a little bit of trouble in the past because there's a lot of stuff that they have to go through, especially as the distributor. Like they have to contact Capcom and they have to work out
Mhm. Right.
whether they
There's a lot of red tape.
can but thankfully there was just enough time and we managed to get it in. So that's how we went through for Ultimate Marvel and Street Fighter X Tekken. So we built up a relationship locally with the distributor and they were able to come through on that. And I was surprised. Like I didn't expect that Capcom would allow the game out to a distributor because I know that like all the Fight Club events and all those kind of things that they do, they're generally run by Capcom staff
Right, right.
as far as I can tell. So um, I know that like they did like a London event or something like that a while ago, the UK event and stuff. But I think before that it had mostly been the US. So we were really happy that they were willing to do that. And Namco for Soul Calibur was a little bit easier. We had a contact through them as well, but that was directly to I believe that was directly to Namco. I think that they have an office in Sydney. I may be wrong. Our PR guy organised that from that perspective. But
Would it be
we
fair
were
to
just able
say
to find that.
that would it be fair to say that Namco is a bit easier to acquire playable builds of a game than Capcom?
It's hard to say because we don't have much of a history with them as much as we do with THQ. So I don't know
Uh-huh.
whether um, if we contacted them in the past for previous things, whether it would have been easy or not. But in this case, they were very positive about it, and so long as we were able to give them what they wanted, like we had to obviously provide them with monitors and sticks and setups and so forth. But they just brought out the consoles with the games.
Wow. So can I confirm that the builds that you guys were playing on were the final builds, or were they still an
No,
early
no.
version?
As far as we could tell, the Ultimate Marvel and Street Fighter X Tekken builds that we had were pretty much identical to the TGS builds. Um,
Okay.
we were told that it was a build created specifically for us, so there might have been minor changes in there that may have been different, but there weren't any new characters or anything.
I see.
But the Soul
So no
Calibur, I
Phoenix,
don't
Phoenix,
think it
right?
really been shown anywhere else. So,
Oh, well, yeah. Um,
but that was still missing about half the cast. It had about half of the
did
characters.
you try to put it in your DVD burner to see if it would have worked?
I actually had all of the copies in my hotel room overnight between Saturday
Yeah,
and Sunday, and it was like that little like devil on the shoulder. It's like, I'm like,
burn
no,
it.
that would that would pretty much destroy our relationship with the
Yeah. So
companies. For
basically, it's all about the relationships with the company and also the distributors in order to get your hands on
Yeah, I mean,
the
like obviously not
film.
every organizer will be able to go straight to Capcom. I know that in Australia we have had a little bit of luck contacting Capcom Europe before, but most of that, is kind of like, what they can get you is maybe some prize support and stuff. It's pretty rare that they can do something like this, but you've got to just kind of build up a relationship with them.
I see.
You trust
Last
them, basically.
question I would like to ask you is I've noticed an increasing tendency to invite foreign players over to these tournaments, especially the Japanese players, just like Shadow, just like Seasons Beings going down, and of course Canada Cup. Um, what do you think about this trend, and do you think that a tournament that is uh, exclusively for the locals, such as BAM, can survive and be called successful, or do you need star power in this time and age? Or
Well, we're kind of in a unique position because I'm part of Shadowloo as well. So
right,
we technically it's more or less the same crew that runs BAM as runs Shadowloo Showdown. So our intention with BAM, while we could have got in contact with a lot of those players again, was that there's no point in running the same event twice in a row
mm,
kind of thing. We wanted to put a bit of focus back on the local players. We want to have a tournament where we can show off like our top players playing, even if it's not at the same level as the high level international players. Um, but in terms of, I mean, like we can see, because I can see from the inside, like the amount of sponsorship and the amount of support and so forth that we can get for something like Shadow Showdown is not the same as we can get for BAM. Like we'll never have that same level of well, most likely we'll never have the same level of kind of people coming on board and saying, hey, we want to give you this, we want to give you, money or prizes or so forth for,
would you say
an
that
event. It just doesn't have the same pulling power.
yeah, would you say that you need foreign players to come down for the companies, for the sponsorship companies to
I
extend
don't think you
their
need foreign
wallet?
players to come down. I think you need exposure. Um, we obviously, a big difference between something like Shuttle Showdown and something like BAM. I think we had about 13,000 people on the stream for Shuttle Showdown, whereas we only had about, I may be wrong, 3,000 or so for BAM, which was still good, especially for an Australian event, because we streamed it on the same channel and so forth. So we got a lot of people watching, but the amount of exposure that you can get for a potential sponsor is not the same. People will tune in to see Taquito play Daigo, but they might not
Right.
tune in to see Toxic play Human Bomb.
I think that's good though to sort of put focus back on the local players because that's what's going to grow your community.
Yeah, yeah, we,
And
we want to nurture our community. I mean, like they're the reason why we're able to do something like Shadow of Showdown.
yeah, I've always thought like inviting these foreign players over and then treating them to like breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then having them body all the local competition and take the prize money is a bit self-defeating in a way, or just like a, you know what I mean? Like paying
I was
someone to
concerned about
it's like
it as
paying the
well.
bully to like take your money.
Yeah,
But it's cool that
yeah.
you let the local players
Well,
shine.
especially if you've only invited one or two local players, whereas if there's more, at least there's some competition between them. Like no one wants to tune in and see Taquito beat everyone in Melbourne kind of thing. But in terms of the locals, like everyone's been pretty supportive of it. Like everyone really enjoys turning up just to see those guys play, and also because we've got them there for about a week around the event. We get to hang out, we get to play casuals, we get to kind of learn from those guys as well. So it's not, I don't think most people go into the tournament with the expectation that they're going to win. So for them, the experience of being able to play against those players uh, compared to being playing against the local top players, it's still worth it for them.
Yeah.
You know what I
And I guess with that match that we're going to be showing on the episode, where it was, I think, Akira versus Soul, I mean, you can still
mean?
have
Yeah.
really special moments, even without the international players.
Yeah, we've been really lucky, especially like Street Fighter 4 is Melbourne's game compared to the rest of Australia. Like Brisbane is all about Marvel and so forth, but we play these games, but we're always kind of Street Fighter 4, and the top eight at BAM is always really exciting. Even when it's different people, we end up with matches that come down to the wire. And the grand final was last match, last round, and
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I
yeah.
think it was the same last year. So we still get some pretty fantastic matches.
All right. We want to thank Brennan Watson so much for coming on the show. Lastly, would you like to? Is there any social media that people should be following for BAM? Or
Uh, yeah, so in terms of BAM, you can go to couchwarriors.org/BAM, or you can just check out couchwarriors.org. But a lot of our media is posted through shadaloo.com as well,
Shadowloo?
so
Okay,
that's kind of our community hub.
great. All right then. I think that's all we have for now. Thank you so much.
Not a problem.
Bye,
Thanks,
guys.
thanks for having me. Cheers.
Yeah, got all the health back. Lap lead now with Akira. Decent block string there. Trying to keep that Sakura away. Anti-air. Right, here we go. What's going to happen? And Sagat, you are...
All right, Mike, let's play a game.
Okay, Gutex.
The game is, guess what combo I'm doing on this Mad Catz TE stick.
I like this challenge.
But you can't look.
Okay.
You have to listen.
Okay.
All right, are you ready?
Yes.
Again?
Do that one more time.
Again?
One more time. That would be crouching short, standing jab, rekka, rekka, rekka by Fei Long.
Close. The last one is crouching jab, but that's close enough.
Okay,
I'll give you that one.
Thank you,
I'll give you that
thank
one.
you.
All right, all right.
Okay.
Are you ready for another one?
I'm ready for another one.
Okay.
One more
Again?
time. One
Again?
more time. That would be crouching fierce, reflector, FADC dash forward, soul throw from Rose.
You win.
I need something more difficult, Gutex. Please challenge my knowledge of Street Fighter.
Okay, all right.
That was an easy one. That is definitely Flash Metroid Zangief.
God, Mike, you're so good at this game.
This is my favorite game. I can tell
did
you
you
guys.
know?
I can tell them something. You too can play this game at home if you purchase yourself a Mad CATZ TE stick.
That's right. Go to this URL right here. Use coupon code CrossCounter. Save 10%. Go.